that while the speakers are delivering their speeches during the ceremony, guests who leave the hall will not be able to re-enter until the speeches are over. We seek your kind understanding on this. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at the Yale-NUS College Graduation Ceremony 2019. The ceremony will begin soon. Please switch your mobile phones and other electronic devices to the silent mode if you have not already done so. In the meantime, sit back and relax as we share with you more about the graduands and Yale-NUS College.
Yale-NUS College, a vibrant community of learning, inspiring a new generation of thinkers. We are an exciting diversity of people who reach across boundaries to learn from the best of Asia and the world. Yale-NUS College, founded by two great universities, Yale University and the National University of Singapore, draws on the strengths and histories of its parent institutions.
Well, it's actually quite
Our curriculum challenges our students to explore and embark on their own learning journeys, to discover their passions
That'll be really cool. Today,
and to realize their dreams.
There are things that can sting you and bite you.
We are creating a culture of creativity, curiosity, and big thinking. One that will inspire each Yale-NUS graduate to make a difference in his or her world. We are a place for the meeting of minds, where colleagues, classmates, and friends learn together and teach one another. Not just in the classroom, but over conversations in the sky gardens during the heat of day, or during late-night excursions to the butteries in the cool of night, all made livelier with a global community of thinkers who call Yale-NUS their home away from home. Knowledge curated on the college grounds is then put to test in the real world. Each Yale-NUS student returns home with broader perspectives and widened horizons. We are more than an institution of learning. We are inspired to think big and to make a difference. We are encouraged to question, to seek bold solutions for a better tomorrow. We are a community of learning, founded by two great universities, in Asia for the world.
So I think it took like super long to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And it took like 4 years to figure out how to get from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time possible. And then it also took 4 years to figure out how to get from point A to point B with the least amount of walking possible. So yeah, that was fun. That was all my whole 4 years navigating this campus.
I think there were a lot of spaces in which we actively tried to like find ways to make meaning for it. Beyond, I think, like conventional uses for it. So we staged a production in Chandana Dining Hall before it was open. And I think sometimes it's wild to think about how like there was a time before the Chandana Dining Hall was like open. Because I have also this vivid memory of us like spilling fake blood on the floor and having to clean it up. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so wild. I don't think I'd ever like be so intimately involved with the dining hall floor.
You bought a tub of biscuit for me and we hang out at the Saga. Is it called Yard? Yeah, Saga Courtyard. Yeah, at night. And you played me some of that Namwi songs.
So then I became his photographer and he became mine. So if you look at like our freshman Instagrams, all of our pictures were like credits for each other because all we did was take pictures for each other for like 1 year.
RCX.
RCX.
Yeah.
Even now, my Facebook profile picture was taken by him.
Okay, we
we performed Mamma Mia together.
We performed Mamma Mia together
And
at the Saga end of sem dinner.
Yes.
And then everyone was dancing with us.
Yes.
It was so
We
fun.
dressed like in the 70s costume.
Yeah.
You can dance!
You can jive! I've developed like a sense of what I want friendship to be like in my life moving forward because of y'all.
You have glowed up so much. Just like the person you are now, you've come into yourself and in your confidence and your passions and your interests in like a very deep way, I feel.
I think Gaz has become a better hugger. She did not know how to hug.
Fierce. My time in Yale-NUS has been fierce.
Instinctively, I would say valuable.
Unpredictable.
I think heartwarming.
Life-changing.
Life-changing? I guess I would say it was a blast. Like, it was really quite explosive.
Technicolor.
Interesting? Or maybe multitudinous? Honestly, 4 years is a long time. I feel like in that time I've had the chance to meet so many people, try out so many new things, and like try on so many different selves I could be, and that's been really fun.
It's a ride.
It's a ride. Yes, it's a ride.
But it's a good ride if you know how to. I don't know. Like if you make the most of it, it's a good ride.
I lost track of time. Yeah, I completely lost track of time.
It's ironic that just as I'm getting very comfortable in Yale-NUS, I have to leave. So to me, the word is home.
Shock.
Reflective.
Too much in too little time.
That's more than one word.
Sine wave. Yeah.
I think illuminating.
This is the most fun I've ever had doing something I thought I originally didn't want to do.
Screen test?
No, not screen test. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Painful.
That went deep real quickly.
Fast.
I would say unexpected.
Yeah, Grace.
Yeah, it's full.
I think I'm leaving with a full heart.
I think I'm leaving with readiness to love and to be out there.
You know, like relationships can be like stars, you know, constellations of stars that just because you leave doesn't mean they disappear, but they just become dormant. But at the right time, at the right occasion, they're gonna like light up again.
Distinguished guests, please rise to welcome the graduands and the ceremonial procession. Please remain standing until the national anthem is sung.
I declare open the Yale-NUS College graduation ceremony of 2019. Please sit.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate Yale-NUS's graduating class. We would now like to invite Professor Tan Tai Young, President of Yale-NUS College, to deliver the opening address. President Tan, please.
Mr. Chee Hong Tat, Senior Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Education, Ambassador Chan Heng Chee, Presiding Officer and member of the Yale-NUS Governing Board, members of the NUS Board of Trustees, Professor Tan Eng Chai, President, NUS, graduates, parents, and friends. Let me begin by wishing the class of 2019 and their loved ones warm congratulations on this special occasion. Now, as many of you know, our college is in the midst of conducting an exercise to determine what our community thinks our core values should be, the ideals that we stand for as an institution. During one of the meetings with a consultant, our students mentioned that they hoped that Yale-NUS would help them to lead a good life. The consultants thought that the students were referring to the traditional hallmarks of success: material gains, prestigious careers, and of course, lots of cash. But that was not what our students meant at all. They clarified that the good life referred not to material wealth, but to living life well, being ethical, civic-minded, constantly thinking about others and contributing to the wider community. In other words, they wanted their college education to help them answer what Russian author Leo Tolstoy has called the only question important for us: what shall we do? How shall we live? It should not come as a surprise that this question has been addressed in a multitude of ways throughout history, from Plato and Aristotle to Confucius, Nagasena, and the Bhagavad Gita, all of which I'm proud to say our graduating students have read and interrogated as part of their common curriculum. Now, should it be surprising that our students wish to come to grips with this question for themselves? You are, after all, not only critical, but compassionate thinkers, eager to make a meaningful impact on the world around you, and to use what you have given to change things for the better. How then can we live the good life? I hope that your time at Yale-NUS has given you not only the ability, but also the opportunity to answer this question. Many of you have been involved in projects and causes outside of classes, initiatives that you are passionate about and committed to, from saving the environment to social and political causes, as well as artistic productions that question the status quo and explore what a better world might look like. These were and are difficult questions to answer. Yet the same questions that confronted us as a community then confront us as individuals now and every day of our lives. The balance between taking care of your own interests on the one hand and looking out for those of others on the other is a difficult one. How can we navigate it? Being aware of the privilege you have been given is a good start. So is thinking about how you can use this privilege to help others. You have been privileged throughout your time here to have been exposed to an interdisciplinary liberal arts and sciences education, to have studied great texts and thinkers, and to have been taught by a dedicated and talented faculty. You have classmates from around the globe with diverse backgrounds, and together you have formed a vibrant and dynamic campus community. But your education has also taught you that the world is, in many ways, a broken place. Systems can be deeply flawed. People are flawed. As our society becomes increasingly complex, so too our problems. And contrary to what might happen in superhero movies, we cannot make these problems disappear with a snap of our fingers. Many of the problems the world currently faces require creative, courageous, and compassionate solutions. Solutions that perhaps you, as an individual, or you together with a group of like-minded individuals, are equipped to provide. Through the intellectual training you have received, the empathy you have nurtured through living and learning with each other, the can-do spirit all of you embody as you tirelessly campaign for changes that benefit the Yale-NUS community and beyond, all these skills and experiences that you are taking with you, you are now equipped to become change makers in your own ways after leaving the college. It is now up to you to answer Tolstoy's question for yourselves, knowing what you know about the world and your place within it, and having what you have. What shall you do, and how shall you live? Graduates, I hope that your time at Yale-NUS has been enriching and meaningful. As you move on to exciting things ahead, I hope that you take with you fond memories, firm friendships, and above all, the desire to use what you have been given to make a difference. The next phase of your life will offer both opportunities and uncertainties. The prospect of having to find and navigate your way after the certainty and routine of 4 years of college will be at once exciting and daunting. And it's here that I'd like to recount something I came across recently when preparing for a lecture, and which has stayed with me since. In the penultimate chapter of Sunny Liu's graphic novel, The Art of Charlie Chan Hock Chai, our protagonist, Charlie Chan, is in his 50s, still a devoted cartoonist despite success proving elusive. In a scene, he's transported back in time to when he was a young man living in pre-independence Singapore. Charlie is given the chance to reconsider his choices, knowing how his life will unfold. Here is his character speaking. As for myself, there wasn't very much to look forward to, just a lifetime of writing and drawing stories that no one would ever read. Neither wealth nor acclaim. I'd be a fool to go down that road again, he thinks. Except, and this is what I found powerful and poignant, despite his misgivings, our protagonist makes the decision to continue pursuing what he's passionate about: comics, drawing, telling stories. What is life, after all, but a constant struggle, a battle between our hopes and harsh reality, he muses. But for now, let me dream of all the comics I've yet to draw, the life I've yet to live. And on this note, I shall end my speech. As you move on, some of you may forge ahead confidently along more conventional paths, while some of you may find yourself searching for bearings, going down paths less trodden. And that's fine. We won't know how life will pan out over the next few years, but I sincerely hope that you will stay the course in your pursuit of a good life. May you have the tenacity to keep your aspirations and dreams intact. Congratulations again, class of 2019. Thank you.
Thank you, President Tan. Distinguished guests, we would now like to invite Senior Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and Ministry of Education, Mr. Chee Hong Tat, to deliver his speech. SMS Chee, please.
Ambassador Chan Heng-Chi, Governing Board Member, Yale-NUS College. Professor Tan Eng Chai, President, National University of Singapore. Professor Tan Tai Yong, President, Yale-NUS College. Graduates, parents and grandparents, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm happy to be here today to join family members and loved ones in sharing the joy of our 182 graduates of the class of 2019. It has been 6 years since YNC started, and the college has produced its third cohort of graduates. I'm confident
that your well-rounded education with YNC has prepared you well for the next phase of your life journey. Today, I would like to share a few stories of individuals who have persevered and overcome challenges in life to emerge stronger and achieve success after their initial setback. I hope their stories will inspire all of us to be willing to step out of our comfort zones and to take a path less traveled, so that we learn more about ourselves in the process and find new opportunities to realize our passion and fulfill our dreams. My first story is about a Thai grandmother in her 70s named Madam J. Phai. She runs a small restaurant in Bangkok with tables and chairs spilling out into the outside pavement. And some of you may have eaten there before. She's the lady who cooks while wearing goggles to protect her eyes from the smoke and spices. Looks quite garang. J. Phai started as a seamstress, and when she was in her 20s, a fire burned down her shop one day. She lost everything. To survive, she turned to cooking on the streets with her mother, selling pad thai. After a while, she decided to try something different. Instead of the usual pad thai, she bought fresh, large river prawns and added these more expensive ingredients to her noodles. And this allowed her to differentiate her pad thai from the competition and to charge higher prices for better quality and also earn higher profit margins. But she did not stop there. She continued to innovate and come out with new dishes driven by a strong passion for preparing delicious food and putting dedication and love into every dish she cooks. Some of the special dishes she has invented included dry tom yum and her famous crab meat omelette, which uses 1 pound of crab meat per dish and is prepared in a Japanese omelette style. Now, they are the efforts of J. Phai's skills, mastery, and innovation, which helped her to differentiate herself and rise above the competition. J. Phai was awarded a Michelin star for her excellent food. She remains very humble and still considers herself as a street cook. But when she was interviewed, you could see the pride on her face when she talked about being celebrated as a chef. She said, "I'm proud of my bonus. I never regretted it." My next story is about Miss Joanna Dong Ziyan, a Singaporean singer who came in top 3 at the Sing China competition. Before she became famous, Joanna had experienced several setbacks in her musical career. She took part in season 1 of the Singapore Idol in 2004, but she did not make it to the finals. She did not give up. She continued to sing and perform. Releasing an album in 2008, she went into TV, film, and musical theatre. Joanna's big break came when she took part in the Sing China competition in 2017, and she emerged top 3. Her innovation is to combine jazz music with traditional songs, which gives these songs a refreshing new flavor. And being bilingual, she was able to sing both English and Chinese songs. She could stand out from the crowd with her innovative music and gain an edge over other singers who also have beautiful voices. She innovated. My third story is about 3 NTU engineering students, Mr. Raul Imandira, Mr. Abhilash Subaraman, and Mr. Hitesh Awani. They picked up their beer brewing knowledge from a brewery in California while doing their overseas attachment at UC Berkeley. When they came back to Singapore, they experimented with different brewing techniques in their hostel, with different combinations of the 4 key ingredients of beer: malt, hops, yeast, and water. They adopted an engineering approach, building their own fridge to control the temperature, measuring the results of different recipes and brewing methods. I'm sure the data gathering process also involved a number of taste tests to be totally scientific and evidence-based. And after some months of trial and error, they managed to produce good quality beer, which they called Binjai Brew, after the Binjai Hall hostel where they stayed. They shared the beer with their friends. Unfortunately, NTU found out about it and stopped them, as they did not have a license to brew beer on campus. When I came across their case, I decided to meet the 3 students for dinner, as I wanted to find out more about their plans and see how the Ministry of Trade Industry could help them. As some of you may know, they have since partnered a microbrewery to produce their beer. And Binjai Brew is now available in Singapore with 3 different flavors, probably more along the way. Now, during our conversations over dinner, Rahul, Abhilash, and Hitesh shared one feedback with me. They asked if the regulatory entry barrier for microbreweries could be lowered to allow more entrepreneurs like themselves to test out new products without incurring high entry costs. It can also help to reduce the cost of failure if the new idea does not work out well and the entrepreneur needs to exit quickly. My colleagues and I thought this over, and we felt that this was a good suggestion. So we followed up with Singapore Customs to do a review, and they have since changed the rules. From 1st May 2019, a new entrant can now pay prorated rates based on the length of the license. For example, a business can now apply for a 3-month license for $2,100 instead of the annual license of $8,400. And if the business exits before 3 months, Customs will refund any unused license fee on a prorated basis. In other words, a startup only needs to pay for the duration when they are in operation instead of forking out a lump sum for the annual license when it is not certain at the beginning how long they will remain in business. Now, importantly, this rule change is not just about beer brewing. This rule change has led to a further policy review, which MTI has initiated with other regulatory agencies, on whether the same prorated licensing approach can be applied in other areas to lower the entry barrier and reduce the cost of early exit. Now, my colleagues and I are pushing for this because we want to encourage entrepreneurship and startups in Singapore. And how we set our rules and regulations is an important part of creating a conducive and pro-business environment. To paraphrase a saying from Sir Winston Churchill about buildings, we shape our rules, and then they shape us. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope the stories of these individuals will inspire all of us to continue pursuing our dreams and to turn our passion into reality. Not being afraid to venture out on a different track and to take calculated risks. Never giving up in the face of adversity and failure, but treating setback as opportunities to learn and to emerge stronger. And getting back on our feet and trying again. And when we succeed, we do not forget that part of our success stems from the support and opportunities which others in society have given us. So we find ways to give back and help others. These are some of the values which YNC graduates have demonstrated and which the college has embedded in its many programs and initiatives. I'm pleased to learn about the story of one of our graduates today, Mr. Daniel Ng, who is graduating from the double degree program in law and liberal arts for minor in philosophy, politics, and economics. Daniel has been actively involved in pro bono projects, contributing to the Military Justice Project, which aims to provide accessible legal assistance to servicemen in the Singapore Armed Forces. In 2017, he also launched Youth Inform, a platform that aims to link alumni with Singaporean schools that do not have a well-established or well-structured alumni association, so that students can benefit from mentorship programs and advice from their seniors. I've seen many other examples in the YNC Year in Review Handbook of how YNC students have devoted time and resources to worthy social causes and to help the less fortunate in society. I'd like to commend the college for making this a key part of the Y&C education experience, and also to thank our students for your active participation and strong support. Please keep up the good work. These qualities I've described have always been important, but I think they will become even more critical in the next phase of Singapore's development, because we need to work together as one people to tackle complex issues that we face as a society. Aging, climate change, these are just some examples. And we need to find ways to turn these challenges into opportunities. There's no SOP for us to follow, because other countries are also looking for solutions, and we cannot use Google Map to help us to locate the path forward. We have to be the pathfinders and figure out what is the best way ahead for Singapore. To succeed in this journey, Singapore must be an entrepreneurial society with an enterprising people. We are also tenacious and resilient with never say die attitude. Every generation needs to have the same pioneering spirit which has brought us to where we are today, as that is what will enable us to build a better future for ourselves and our children than what we have inherited from our forefathers. We are not done building and growing Singapore. There's still a lot more we can achieve as a nation if we put our hearts and minds together. And I'm confident that Y&C graduates will play key roles in shaping the future of our society as you progress in your careers and become leaders in your respective fields. My heartiest congratulations once again to the class of 2019, and I wish all of you all the very best in your journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, SMSG. Distinguished guests, we would now like to introduce our graduation speaker, Dr. Nolene Heiser. Dr. Heiser was the first woman to serve as the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific since its founding in 1947. Prior to that, she was the first woman from outside North America to head the United Nations Development Fund for Women. She was also the Secretary General's Special Advisor for Timor-Leste and is currently a member of the United Nations Secretary General's High-Level Advisory Board on Mediation. We would now like to invite Dr. Heiser to address the graduating class. Dr. Heiser, please.
Mr. Chee Hong Tiet, Senior Minister of State, Ambassador Chan Heng Chee, Presiding Officer, members of NUS Board of Trustees, Professor Tan Eng Chai, President NUS, Prof. Tan Tai Yong, President Yale-NUS, graduates, parents, and friends. Congratulations to the class of 2019. It is my honor to be part of your graduation ceremony. Congratulations also to parents, grandparents, and family members, teachers, and everybody involved in helping these wonderful young women and men arrive at this moment. This is your day too, so let's acknowledge with another round of applause. I want to speak briefly about what it is that draws us together here with such pride, and what it is about Yale-NUS that inspires us to be so hopeful about the future. Yale-NUS is the first liberal college in Singapore and one of the few in Asia. Over the past 8 years, the college has established itself as one of the finest globally. As we applaud this remarkable achievement, we cannot help but ask, what is so special about your education here? The special quality of this college is its unique character, providing a holistic liberal arts education. The curriculum at Yale-NUS emphasizes broad-based learning across the natural and social sciences and humanities. With the liberal arts education, you have learned how to write clearly, how to express yourself convincingly, how to think analytically. But in Yale-NUS, you're also encouraged to extend your interests to fields like computing and medicine. In other words, the college moves beyond the usual academic boundaries to show the underlying interplay of arts and science. Dear class of 2019, you are graduating at an interesting moment in history. Many of the current challenges in our increasingly connected world are unprecedented. Yours is a generation that will be fully impacted by the fourth industrial revolution. You will need to adapt frequently to continuous changing economy, challenging you to be daring, to be innovative, to take risks as new opportunities arise. Very likely, you may have more than one job and more than one career over the course of your lifetime. You will have to engage in lifelong learning and keep gaining new skills and even new degrees. The strength of a liberal education is that it teaches you how to learn, how to question, how to acquire knowledge. The training you get from liberal arts and the ability to combine that with science and technology has become increasingly important in this new world. I know that many of you are now thinking about your next steps, and starting your careers in these uncertain times is challenging. However, remember, you have the privilege of being in the top university in Asia and has prepared you to be future-ready graduates. This, together with the unique education provided by Yale-NUS, already position you well to move through your working life. But however, dear class of 2019, a sustainable future is not just about having a good job or a good life. Our world is in desperate need of wise and ethical leadership. We have challenges to solve that threatens everyone in the 21st century. Yours is a generation that has had the opportunity to develop skills, to engage the mind, but I hope the education and exposure in Yale-NUS, in Singapore and the region have also inspired you to aspire to contribute to our global future and to our public goods. The world needs a new generation of graduates right now, women and men who appreciate and understand the complexities of contemporary society and are well-equipped to become the thought leaders of the future. We need young people like you, our next generation of leaders, to practice quality leadership in whatever field you choose to be in. This means to develop intellectually, emotionally, and practically to navigate a complex and fast-changing world in ways that will uplift families and communities, making a difference in the lives of our nations. We need you to be innovative, to think out of the box. We need great imagination. This is a period of paradoxes. We are more connected than ever before, yet our world is also drifting apart. There are new threats from the rise of religious extremism and ethno-nationalism, the weakening of multilateralism, and institutions that promote tolerance and justice. We are at our richest, yet divided on how to address rising inequalities and the need for social protection. We have advanced in science and technology, yet divided ideologically on climate change. We struggle with our changing demography and aging population, and yet are so fearful of immigration. How we address these paradoxes globally and locally have implications for the future of our societies. At the same time, we're living at a pivotal moment of profound transformations. Our global, regional, and local challenges have already ignited fundamental change in mindsets to build a new development paradigm, a stronger, sustainable foundation for our economy, our society, and our future prosperity. The agenda on transforming our world, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, was agreed to by all our heads of states and governments at the United Nations in September 2015. This agenda is a plan of action, a roadmap for people, planet, and prosperity. It requires us to rethink how we grow our economy, how we share our wealth, how we create livable cities, use our water and energy, how we educate our children, how we care for our aging population, how we treat our environment, how we build inclusive societies, leaving no one behind. To fully comprehend and implement this huge agenda requires greater cooperation and creativity among individuals, communities, business, and government. It requires a multidisciplinary and multi-sectorial approach to building resilience and strengthening our social fabric, not just for the workplace, but for the world at large. As a social scientist born and mainly educated in Singapore, I believe that the future belongs to those who understand that in our quest for new knowledge and deeper understanding, our research, our teaching and learning must cultivate meaning and a sense of purpose in the next generation. Our young must be infused with core ethical values to guide decision-making and stewardship of our common future. Our role is not just to develop our intellect, but our character, our courage, and creativity to help us realize our humanity, our own humanity, and that of our society as we navigate our complex and uncertain future. No matter what sector we finally choose to engage in as a career, government, universities, business, civil society, multilateral organizations, our shared values shape shared directions and can provide the motto to a more inclusive and sustainable world for all. I choose to work in the United Nations because I wanted to aim for the high ground. I wanted not just to do well academically and in my career, but also to simultaneously explore new horizons and develop a genuine sense of service towards society. I wanted to lead not just a purposeful life for myself and my family alone, but a life that values the other, treating all human beings with respect and dignity. The multilateral system in which I worked with all its complexities and bureaucracies provided a strong foundation of values on which to create social impact, to enrich our world and make it a far better place to live. Let me very quickly just share one example of leading change on the global stage as the Executive Director of the Women's Fund. Because of the global authority and legitimacy of the United Nations, we were able to bring about major shifts in mindsets and attitudes of our governments. They came together to negotiate ground rules and commit to real change where daughters have the same chances as sons. Through our work on the empowerment of women and girls, there is increased leadership, voice, and capacity of women to realize their rights to quality education and healthcare, to equal inheritance, legal protection and citizenship, to security and quality of employment, to be free from harassment and sexual violence. The unleashing of women's potential has begun to transform our societies. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2019, it is at historical turning points that we are forced to try harder, to dive deeper into ourselves, and to discover gifts we never knew we had. How you decide to meet the challenges of your time, how you want to make a difference will ultimately be up to you. My main message to you as you graduate is to be the best that you can ever be. Harness new opportunities that come your way. Exercise ethical leadership wherever you are. In so doing, you will discover the greatness and grace that live within each of us. So thank you and congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you, Dr. Heiser. May I invite Rector of Saga College, Associate Professor Koo Hoon Ang, to present the Yale-NUS graduates to the presiding officer, Ambassador Chon Hang Chi.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I present to you the double degree graduates. Yale-NUS College and National University of Singapore Faculty of Law, Bachelor of Arts with Honours and Bachelor of Laws with Honours. Cephas Tan Jia Yang. Chan Wan Ting. Lek Hao Kai. Nicholas Siu Chi Chuan. Pa Wai Yan Kimberly. Jessica Ting Si Jie. Yang Wei Jian Daryl. Majoring in Global Affairs, Yi Jia Rong. Majoring in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, Ming Chong Daniel. Zhang Yao Lin. Majoring in Psychology, and recipient of the Sheila Ann Hare Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Law and Liberal Arts, Lu Zhao Boyu. Madam Presiding Officer, may I present to you the Bachelor of Arts with Honours graduates. Majoring in Anthropology, Annie Wang Ting Fang. Recipient of the Bernard Bate Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Anthropology, Jem Tan. Recipient of the Bernard Bate Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Anthropology, Christian Mark James Paul. Lian Zhu Jin. Lim Jing Wen. Lo Jia Tian. Serena Ki Jing Ying. Rebecca Julissa Salza Vallejo. Sim Gek Teng Danielle. Sim Yi Shen. Sylvia Ang Yu Hui. Tan Hui Min. Tan Mei Jun Madeline. Vasuta Kataruka. Wong Ji Ying. Majoring in Arts and Humanities, recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Arts and Humanities, Art Naming. Chin Xuan Chen. Cora Victoria Europa Chipek. Gabriel Leck. Jirasiri Techala Panarasma. Justin Guang Xi Ong. Ko Zhi Hao. Ku Wei Yen Mark. Lesha Naresh Mansukani. Lim Shi Chong. Thaddeus Whitney Cochrane. Wang Yu Qing. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Arts and Humanities, Yang Yi-Lin. Yo Jing-Wen Vivian. Zhu Min Ying. Majoring in Economics. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Economics, Aditi Kothari. Pei Chi Wei. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Economics, Divesh Vashdev Dadlani. Fu Zhe Wei. Jessica Hao Chang. Mildred Liu Mi Rui. Ng Wen T. Keith. Nguyen Queen Nga. Rim Batayeb. Xia Po Shen. Yip Wing Yen. Yong Yi Chi. Zhong Rui Feng. Majoring in Environmental Studies, Chi Pei Yen Stephanie. Crystal Yong Yun Han. Gemma Madeline Green. Huang Yiming. Isabel Lee Si Yun. Lee Xin Ran. Marisa Fu Hui Ling. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Environmental Studies, Neo Xiao Yun. Rachel Ui Siu Hui. Saif Kakakel. Sonia Kaur Sambi. Te Shi Ching. Majoring in Global Affairs, Avery Elizabeth Simmons. Chen Chi Hang. Cheong Chien Ling Flora. David Fu Hao Zhang. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Global Affairs, Helena Juliet Oswald. Lim Zixian Ryan Dennis. Mile Yan Te. C. Kylie Denise. Vivek Ganesh. Ye Jin Park. Majoring in History, Adila Sayed. Charlene Tan Jing Ting. Chua Kang En Asher. Hazira binti Muhammad Helmi. Lai En Chen. Liam Robert Holmes. Lu Ai Hui. Meline I. Bungham. Ng Chi Xiang. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in History, Nicholas Lua Sui Yang. Pang Wei Han. Pham Le Vi. Recipient of the Tan Sing Meng Prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Chinese Studies, Te Jun Hao.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. We would now like to invite the faculty speaker, Associate Professor of Humanities, Mira So, to deliver her speech. Associate Professor So was nominated by the graduands to speak on behalf of the Yale-NUS faculty and is one of the college's inaugural faculty members. Associate Professor So, please.
Good afternoon, Senior Minister Chi-Hong Tat, Dr. Heiser, Ambassador Chan Heng-chi, Presiding Officer, member of the Yale-NUS Governing Board, members of the NUS Board of Trustees, Professor Tan Chai, President of NUS, Professor Tan Taeyong, President of Yale-NUS College, graduands, families, faculty, colleagues, and friends of the college. Thank you for being with us to celebrate the graduating class of 2019. I'm so honored to have been chosen by the class of 2019 to be the faculty speaker this year. Looking at you all out there, it reminds me of our time together in the common curriculum, which you may barely remember from 4 long years ago. This is definitely my last chance to read to you in ancient Greek. So let me share with you the first stanza of Sappho's Fragment 16. Sappho was a poet from the island of Lesbos who lived in the mid-7th century BCE. She was the most famous female poet in the ancient Mediterranean. This poetic meter, the Sapphic stanza, is named after her. So you will hear 3 hendecasyllabic lines, that's 11 syllables, and then you will hear anadonic, which you may recall is the ending of the dactylic hexameter. Oi menipeion stroton, oi de pesdon, oi de naon, phaisa pigan melainan, emmenai kaliston, ego de kain hot totis erratai. Here's the Canadian poet Anne Carson's 2002 translation from her collection, If Not Winter. Some men say an army of horse, and some men say an army on foot, and some men say an army of ships is the most beautiful thing on the black earth. But I say it is what you love. Carson emphasizes the male pronouns some men, some men, some men. Sappho initially sets up a silly non-debate. These three opinions are not so different, as they are all preferences for instruments of war. So men in archaic Lesbos don't seem to have many interesting ideas about what is kaliston, that is, what is the most beautiful thing. As a female speaker, Sappho interjects to change the terms of the discussion. Are we debating the aesthetics of the object itself, a Porsche, a Lamborghini, or a Ferrari? Or are we more interested in our own perceptions and feelings, and especially our own emotions, what you love? There's a lot more I could say in a different context about this poem, but I'll stick to why this is appropriate for us today. First of all, it's a poem of farewell for a beloved young pupil who's getting married, which certainly pertains to all of you who are leaving us to take up new responsibilities in your lives after graduation. But the poetics of this first stanza, with its repeated refrain, some men say an army of horse, some men say an army on foot, and some men say an army of ships, is also relevant. You probably already know that outside of the classroom, many discussions and debates are predetermined, by which I mean conventional. The choices are already prescribed. But isn't it odd to think that an army is the most beautiful thing? Not a song, not a mathematical proof or an ecosystem. Why did all of these guys say an army? So obviously, once the first guy said something military, then everybody else had to play along, right? It's either a Porsche, a Lamborghini, or a Ferrari. So until Sappho, who waits until the last line of the stanza, this punctuating adonic, to change the story, guys, I say, and here she uses the first person pronoun ego, emphatically, it's what you love. And here she uses the term eratai, that is related to eros, the passionate love that comes from Aphrodite and can make people do crazy things, like the mythological Helen, whom she then uses as an example of a person who walked away from her husband, her kid, her parents, and her homeland to follow her lover, Paris, to Troy. So this is now becoming the opposite of a wedding speech, where everyone quotes 1 Corinthians on agape, that is, love being patient, kind, not envious, etc. Agape is a very different Greek word, and a very different concept. Sappho is talking about eros, not agape, and she has interrupted this conventional men's debate about how cool they all think military equipment is to remind them of a woman who ran away from her house with her adulterous lover, because that's what eros makes you do. It makes you selfish. It makes you think about yourself and your own desires, and it's a little bit insane, which is why the ancient Greeks worshipped a goddess of love among other divinities of natural forces, like the sky and the ocean. Passion for teaching what I love, ancient literature, in a small liberal arts context, is what led me here to Yale-NUS, away from a safe, tenured job at University of Michigan. My colleagues thought I was pretty crazy, too. So not everyone loves the same thing. This is Sappho's other important insight, as she says, what you love. Love is totally idiosyncratic. So let me come back nearly 3,000 years, from 630 BCE to 2019 CE. I thought of this fragment for you all today because I recently had a student in my office saying she feels guilty about doing what she loves, namely studying literature, because she feels it is selfish. And this is not the first time I've heard this from students here and at other institutions. You are aware of your privilege, and I know you hear a lot about in Asia for the world. I love our students' commitment to social justice, activism, and service. I'm enormously impressed by our students' dedication to make our world better in so many ways. But I just want to take a moment, the 5 minutes I was allotted, to talk about how it's important to be selfish sometimes, because the eros, the passion that enables you to do the crazy things that the world needs right now, may require you to be selfish. It may seem selfish to do what you love, especially when it's not what others expect. Sappho suggests that only eros can sustain you when you have to go your own way and do what you think is the most beautiful thing. As a faculty member who's taught here for 6 years now, I'm entirely confident that our Yale-NUS students, and now you, the class of 2019, know what you love. As you may recall from the Trojan War, however, following your heart doesn't always end well. It's no guarantee of the future, but only eros can give you the courage to interrupt, to change the discussion, and to discover your most beautiful thing. Congratulations to the class of 2019.
Thank you, Associate Professor So. May I invite Rector of Elm College, Associate Professor Amber Carpenter, to present the Yale-NUS graduates to the presiding officer, Ambassador Chan.
Madam Presiding Officer, may I present to you the Bachelor of Arts with Honours graduates. Majoring in Literature, recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Literature, Crystal Ho Jia Min. Li Xian Lai. Lam Xian Hui Jolene. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Literature, Michelle Li Yan Yi. Paul Maravillas Jerusalem. Sasha Aman. Tan Jia Hui. Hui Jinlong. Majoring in philosophy, Cassidy Addie Sierra Clark. Keith Liu Wenjun. Lee Chung-young Vincent. Tan Xian Lee Joshua. Wee Jarek. Majoring in philosophy, politics, and economics, Benjamin McKee Jameson. Recipient of the prize for outstanding capstone project in philosophy, politics, and economics, Chung K. Hao Darrell. Joshua Phua John Peng. Keith Angwan Yi. Kwek Hyun-young Lionel. Nguyen Thi Thiet Trang. Pragya Sethi. Ruyi Jiao. William Gray Gerber. Yip Jie Ying. Majoring in psychology. Recipient of the prize for outstanding capstone project in philosophy, Anandita Sabharwal. Seling Kuyi Ling. Chan Uchen Jonathan. Chong Wenwei. Recipient of the prize for outstanding capstone project in psychology, Chue Su Hien Joanna. Gerald Lim Chuan Chung. Kirsten Ho En Ting. Ko Shun Chuan. M. Lingaswa Rao. Ng Weng Lin. Po Jinghui Alicia. Te Yuxuan Cheryl. Yo Sumin. Majoring in Urban Studies. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Urban Studies, Callista Tony. Dave Lim Wei Jing. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Urban Studies, Ernest Tan Shu Chen. Gertie Ma Xiao. Isabel Wong Yi. Lam Zhiqing. Lim Chanjun Altirapan. Luk Wun Wei. Mehul Banka. Nguyen Ngoc Luli. Rebecca Yuchi Huang. Sean Chan Fan Yang. Teo Ji Xian. Tiara Louis Rusing. Wang Jungyang. Madam Presiding Officer, may I present to you the Bachelor of Science with Honours graduates, majoring in Environmental Studies, recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Environmental Studies, Tan Yuen Ting Rachel. Majoring in Life Sciences, Ignatius Tae Yan Yun. Li Wensheng Isaac. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Life Sciences, Nawat Bunang. Wang Qing. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Life Sciences. Jufang Chen. Majoring in Mathematical, Computational, and Statistical Sciences, Alexia Kathy Davidson. Andrew Wooten. Brian Scott Bohm. Chao Jing Lu. Karis Ann Lim. Ileng Van Lee. Jeffrey Hirsch Chen Lee Martin. Go Si Yao. Ko Ming Wen Jamie. Ko Kwai Yin. Lok Yukin Daniel. Marcus Theodorus Leroux. Narayani Tulsian. Risa Shindo. Swarnima Sirkar. Taha Tesin. Tan Pingmin Jasmine. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Mathematical, Computational, and Statistical Sciences, Xiao Lin Fan. Majoring in Physical Sciences, Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Physical Sciences, Wen Chung Min. Ivan So Wei En. Karen Ku Po Man. Ko Pei Wen Vanessa. Ng Hui Lin. Recipient of the prize for Outstanding Capstone Project in Physical Sciences, Nilotpal Chakrabarti. Wang Jiayun. Madam Presiding Officer, may I present to you the following award winners. Recipient of the Emerging Young Leader Award, Sean Cham Fan Young. Recipient of the Class of 2017 Award, Helena Juliet Auerswald.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. The graduands have selected their student speaker, who will now address us on behalf of the graduating class. Let's welcome Mr. Christian Mark James Paul, an anthropology major. Christian is the inaugural Director of Diversity and Inclusion for the Yale-NUS student government and a residential college advisor, providing mentorship, advice, and support to a group of first-year students. Christian, please.
Mr. Chee Hong Tat, Senior Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Education, Ambassador Chan Heng Chee, Presiding Officer and member of the Yale-NUS Governing Board, members of the NUS Board of Trustees, Professor Tan Ning Chai, President of NUS, Professor Tan Tai Yong, President of Yale-NUS College, graduates, parents, and friends. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you all for giving me this opportunity. I could try and find some ethereal, mystical ideal that ties the whole of 2019 together. I could maybe talk about how our class was the first class to complete all 4 years of college in our very own campus, showing us how we truly are the first to understand what it means to create something that we could say without a doubt belonged to us, belonged to our visions, belonged within our own walls. Like a side staging our school's very first musical. Or Jamie, Nikki, Nott, and Lionel meeting at Agora Cafe at 11 p.m. to discuss putting up our school's very first rock concert. I could maybe talk about how we truly are the first to understand what it means to grow up with a space, that a space ages and will start to bear the marks of our time with it. And I could mention art, who, through his artwork, kept reminding us that dirt isn't a bad thing, it's the mark of a memory. But I don't think I'm going to talk about us being the first. And I don't think I'll try and find some other equally ethereal and mystical ideal. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here today to help create some space to celebrate us. But also, I'm here today to create space for all of us to reflect in our own ways about our class and about ourselves. So, with that in mind, I want to talk about our differences. Because let's be real, we're all kind of different, and some people might say our class isn't that close. But what that means is, and what I like to remind everyone here, is that our differences give us the opportunity, the privilege, to practice being charitable to one another. It gives us the chance to learn that being charitable to differences can take many different forms sometimes unique to ourselves. And yes, this I did learn from the school to some extent, from its determination to be a different kind of university in Singapore, in the region, from the importance this institution places on having dialogues and debates across and between different groups. But above all, I learned how to be charitable from all of you, class of 2019. So what exactly then does being charitable mean? Well, from what you've shown me, I think it simply means recognizing humanness. It means recognizing that people around us are individuals with complex, dynamic emotions who all feel things in different ways, who think in different ways, and who have different lived experiences. Recognizing humanness can mean doing work when sometimes it's just easier not to because of the kind of toll it could take. It could mean trying to approach ideological differences by recognizing the person behind those ideologies, like Wei Han, who has spent hours upon hours having one-on-one, heartfelt conversations with people who disagree with the sit-in and with the dining hall posters to help others and himself see things from another individual's perspective. It can also mean choosing to put yourself out there, to answer questions about who you are and what you stand for. It means recognizing that sometimes people just don't know and that it requires patience to walk through things with them. Like Serena, who, along with Yale-NUS's Gender and Sexuality Alliance group, the G-Spot, ran several Ask Me Anything sessions so that people could come and ask questions to try and work towards understanding. It also means giving others the space to grow into themselves. It means stepping back and guiding instead of imposing specific ideals or instructions. Like the Writer Center peer tutors, who help the people who come to them learn in a multitude of ways to find their own voice. Or the residential college advisors, who mentor their first years proactively, but not overtly, letting them figure college out for themselves, because everyone does that in a different way. But sometimes recognizing humanness also means doing work for complete strangers, for people you may never know or may never meet, like Swanima, who has been fighting fiercely to have conversations about the students' efforts contribution because it affects future generations of Yale-NUS students. Or Sinran and Xiaoyun, who, as members of the Student Committee for Sustainability, have been trying to effect policy changes on a school they're about to leave to bring Yale-NUS into a larger conversation about climate change. And finally, recognizing humanness could just mean loving all kinds of people and knowing that we all have good days and we also have bad days, like members of the peer counseling team, PS We Care, who support fellow students on their bad days by sitting with them and hearing their troubles, acknowledging their hurt. It's easy to say that the ethos of Yale-NUS taught us how to be charitable, that it's something that is built into this college. And in some ways it is. Like our Week 7 trips that take us off our campus and get us to engage with nuance in a global context. Or the different speakers the school brings in, who have new perspectives on issues that we don't really think about daily. But those aren't enough to teach us how to be charitable. Those don't show us how difficult it can be in real life. Instead, it's people, it's individuals who are willing to reshape their little communities by welcoming someone new into their suite. Individuals who guide first-timers through a sport or a form of dance and affirm their choice, try something new. or individuals who serve coffee and cook Indomie daily and weekly for this community when they could instead be doing their own work or taking time for themselves. It is people, as all of you, that show us that being charitable looks very different when it manifests in our daily lives. Class of 2019, we're all very different. But that's okay, because by acknowledging those differences and making those ideals real between us, that's how we come to recognize humanness. Being charitable can seem scary. It can seem intangible, abstract. It can also seem sort of fluffy. But when we reframe it and when we see it as recognizing humanness, I think it becomes a little easier, because it grounds us. It reminds us that we all need each other in this world. It reminds us that we live in this world with each other, but also that we make this world with each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. Graduands, as we come to the end of today's ceremony, we would like to extend our heartiest congratulations to you on your achievements throughout your time at Yale-NUS. We also warmly welcome you to the Yale-NUS alumni family. We look forward to staying connected and witnessing the many wonderful things you will go on to achieve from here.
I declare this ceremony closed.
Distinguished guests, please rise for the national anthem. Thank you for joining us on this special occasion. Once again, congratulations. Please remain standing as the ceremonial procession takes its leave. Distinguished guests, please enjoy the tea reception that has been set up at the foyer. Graduands, please follow the directions of the student marshals and join us for a class photo at the atrium immediately after the recession.